Namaste, guys. Welcome to this short practice for releasing the shoulders. So if you did the mat class this week, then we did quite a lot of things for the upper body. We were working at connections between the arms, the shoulders, the torso, and the neck. And it was a lot of things to develop strength for our inversions. And when you've done a practice like that, sometimes you'll feel a little bit of stiffness in the following days. So this is a short practice to release stiffness and get a bit more mobility back into those spaces. So just come to a comfortable seated position, relaxing your arms. If you feel that they're really stiff in the shoulders, sometimes relaxing the arms all the way down towards the floor is better than leaving them on the legs, but wherever suits you. Just sitting tall, closing the eyes or gazing downward for a moment. Finding your breath. I find I'm so conditioned now that as soon as I sit in this pose, my breath is deepened and becomes more relaxed. But if it takes you a few moments to find that, it's okay. Just take your time. See if you can allow the breath to fill the spaces in the sides and the back of the body. So as you breathe in, feel the breath lift you tall. And as you breathe out, allow the breath to soften your shoulders down. Breathing in, filling the chest, the sides, the back of the body. Breathing out, soften the shoulders, soften the jaw, soften the forehead. Maybe gently engage the abdominal muscles just to press the last bit of air out. Breathing in. Breathing out, finding your own rhythm if you've already got one going. We'll take 2 more deep breaths. And gently blinking your eyes open. Sometimes just breathing like that will give you a sense of where the breath is moving easily, but where maybe you're a little bit stuck, for example, in the back of the shoulders. So let's just begin with a little bit of shoulder circling. And you can go in both directions. And in this practice, you're very much finding what works for you. So if it works for you to do your shoulder circles individually and to roll backwards and forwards rather than keep going in one direction or another. If it works for you to make the arms a little bit more in the movement or to use more of your upper body, then you can do that too. We're going to come to that anyway. So after a few shoulder circles, just finding yourself back to sitting upright, maybe feeling maybe just a little bit more spacious and free, and then drawing your chin towards your chest. And here, gently circling one ear to one shoulder, chin to chest, the opposite ear to the opposite shoulder. There's no need to force the chin down or force the ears to the shoulder. You're just finding what movements feel good and maybe just those touches of stretches. And if you want to, if it feels good to you, you can lift your chin up and make those movements into circles. And in the opposite direction as well. Always going gently with the neck. finding and feeling your way. And then if it feels good, you can do a little bit more sort of side bending. So from an upright position, right ear to right shoulder, and then just dipping your chin down and lifting your chin up. So you get through all of the spaces, the planes of movement of the neck on that side. Slow, steady movements. When you're ready, coming back to center, doing the opposite side, starting from the middle, left ear to left shoulder, and just gently drawing the chin down and up whilst you're in that side bend. This is my stiffer side, so I'm going a little bit more gently with it. And when you're ready, coming back to center. And then here we're just going to bring our arms in front of us, interlace the hands, reach the backs of the hands away, scoop the belly in, maybe lean back slightly so you round through the upper back, round through the back of the body in general. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then roll the palms outwards. Feel that lift through the sides of the body, so you're lifted back to upright. And then with the palms turned outwards, do the same thing. Reach the palms away from you, chin towards the chest. Maybe this time just gently swaying the hands from one side to the other, as if you were scratching the back of your body or rubbing the back of your body against something. Coming back to center. This time we're going to reach the arms up over the head and lift first with the sides of the body and the shoulders, and then see if you can draw the shoulders down, just the shoulders, keeping the sides of the body lifted. And here, making some gentle investigations into the side of the body. Or if you want to, you can make some circling motions here. Whatever you do, let your head be neutral. Or if it feels inclined, so neutral or engage gently in the movement, but don't lead with your head. Coming back to center, separating the hands, just floating the arms down to the sides. And we'll do a little bit of circling with the upper body. So finding your way into little circles here. I've just realized that it's very uncomfortable to do this on the floor, so I'm going to open my legs wide. So circling with your upper body. Over folded legs would be better. I'm quite warm, but if you're not, then it's definitely going to be better to do it over folded legs and going in both directions. And again, letting your head follow in the movement. And then when you're ready, coming up to sitting upright again. And we're going to take the arms behind the body, interlace the hands there, reach the hands up behind you if you can, and the arms long but not locked straight. Draw the palms of the hands towards each other, and you'll find that that opens your chest a little bit more. And then if you take the palms apart, you can stretch into the wrists a little bit if that feels comfortable for you. Palms together feels a little bit better for me. And I'm going to sweep the back of my left hand over to my right hip and then squeeze my right elbow in. And here, I'm going to take my right ear to my right shoulder. And again, making those gentle turnings up and down, stretching out the whole of the front of the shoulder and the side of the neck. Coming back to center, you can do turning if that accesses your stiffness more. Reaching the hands back behind you, opening the chest again, lifting the arms up, perhaps bringing the shoulder blades closer towards each other, and then drawing the back of the right hand to the left hip, squeezing the left elbow in, left ear to left shoulder, and gently making any movements that feel good. Maybe it's head turning rather than side bending on this side. Doing whatever feels good. And then coming back to the center. And then here, just a little bit of shoulder rolling, if that helps. And we're going to do some side bending. So right hand on the right side of the body, left hand on the left side of the body rather, reaching the right hand up and over. And we're just going side to side. So little gentle beginnings here. And as you do this, feeling your way. So feeling into what feels good for you. Lengthening perhaps into it as you create more space. When you're ready, you can hold. And as you hold, just doing a gentle rotation here. So pressing down with the left hand and rolling the right side of the chest up and down. Coming back to center, doing the same thing on the other side. Gentle rotations. Doing what feels good. So if this doesn't feel good, keep going side to side. If you're just accessing those spaces underneath the rib cage, into the intercostal muscles between the ribs, that might feel really good. Excellent stuff. And so we're going to come from here to lying down on the side of the body. So coming onto your mat, wherever it happens to be, and stacking your knees one on top of the other. Let's lie on the right side first. I've got a little block for underneath my head. And we're doing something called the universal pose here. So for this, you can leave your knees stacked one on top of the other. If you prefer, you can lengthen your bottom leg so you're more in sort of a recovery position. And this is the classic variation of the pose, but it doesn't matter which one of these you do. So I'm going to do it with my knees stacked today. It's not Pilates, so you don't need to have your hips rigidly stacked on top of each other and the shoulders and everything. So just find a comfortable spot on your side. Make sure that whatever's under your head is going to support you as your head rolls backwards as well, okay? And we're just reaching our top arm up, elbow nice and soft, so it comes over the ear, and reaching that arm back down again. So sweeping the arm up and over, elbow nice and soft, and back down. And feel your way here. It might be that you feel this movement isn't so stiff today, and you just want to go a little bit deeper, making sure that you can lift your top knee if you need to. Just give it a little freedom, a little space. And when you're ready, you can roll all the way around, keeping the elbow nice and soft. And doing a few rotations, always forward and up, back and down, across the hip, forward and up, and back and down. And if you want to, if you find a spot that's sticky, where you've got a little bit of tension and you want to stay there for a little while, you stay there. Make sure your neck is nice and comfortable, your hips have adjusted, and just give yourself a moment, maybe a couple of deep breaths. And then finding your way back to the center. Here, to go to the other side, we're simply going to roll onto our backs. And you might find that you need to move your block, but here on your back, taking an opportunity just to gently relax. Let the spine find its more neutral shape. And then when you're ready, rolling all the way over. So apologies for having my back to you now. As I said, you can lengthen the bottom leg if you want to come into more classical recovery position for this posture. It doesn't give you quite as much freedom to move in the hips. So if you prefer, knees together and in front of you, and starting with your top elbow nice and soft, just rolling your top elbow over the ear and then back down like a quarter circle. So beginning to investigate that movement. And perhaps you feel ready to go a little bit further. And as you do, if you need to, you can lift your top knee to give you a little bit more space. You don't need to keep them pinned together. It's not helpful for your back. And when you're ready, you can do your whole circle. And again, it's an exploration. So see what feels good to you here. Just take your time. And if you find a spot where you've got a little extra stiffness, or maybe just before your point of most resistance, you can hang out there. If your hand is very far off the ground, then it's not going to be useful to hang out here for more than a breath or two, because all you'll do is put too much weight into the ligaments in a stretched position, and they won't like that for very long. But if your arm is on the ground, or if you can find a space where your arm is still in contact with the ground, and breathe there, that'll be great. Even if it's not the most stretchy, it will have a lovely, beautiful opening effect across the armpit, down the side of the body. And when you're ready, bringing your arm all the way back to the center. And this time, instead of rolling onto the back, we're going to lengthen the legs and roll onto the front. Awesome sauce. Just popping my block to one side. And here, we're going to have our arms out to the sides with our forehead towards the floor. Taking a few breaths. If you need to do this with the arms folded onto the forehead, that's fine too. So we're going to roll towards the left side first. So the right elbow is going to bend, the right hand's going to come towards the right shoulder, and the right foot is going to tuck under so the toes are on the floor. And we're going to take the left side or left ear, left side of the head to the floor, and roll the hips and the shoulders towards the left. And here it might be that you want your top leg, the right leg, just to step behind you ever so slightly. And if you can do this without putting weight into your right hand, that's great. But if you need a little bit of support from your right hand, no problem at all. That's what it's there for. You're just rolling to a point that feels comfortable. The left palm is facing downwards. Should have said that earlier. Left palm facing downwards. You're going to take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and then gently roll back onto our fronts. Here we're going to bend the left elbow so that the left arm is still out at shoulder height, but the elbow is bent and the palm facing downwards as well. Then we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to roll to the left, taking the right leg behind us, supporting with the right hand. Trying to open the chest a little bit, maybe taking the right shoulder back a little bit. This is more intense for me. Maybe it's the more comfortable variation for you. So just taking a moment, a couple of deep breaths, and when you're ready, just gently releasing back. And in the middle, We're going to take a moment here in a nice wide sphinx. So nestling the pelvis down into the mat, opening the chest and looking forwards. And then gently releasing all the way down. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So it's the right arm relaxing out to the right side. We're going to draw the left arm in so the elbow is lifted. Prepare the left leg. Roll to the right and take the left leg behind you if that feels comfortable. Use as much weight or effort into your left hand as helps. Make sure that your right palm is facing towards the floor. I'm just taking a few deep breaths. If it's more comfortable to have your head supported on a block, you can totally do that too. Just make sure that it doesn't twist your neck into or lift your neck into an odd position. Then we'll come back to the center and just relax the rest of the body for a moment while you bend the right arm at the elbow so that the upper arm is still out at shoulder height, palm still to the floor. And then we're going to roll again. And this is my stiffest side. So this I find really intense. Drawing perhaps the left shoulder blade back just a touch to increase that feeling of openness. You can always tell if a posture is challenging because of the breath. So it's harder to find the breath. So always work where you still can find your breath. And when you're ready, rolling back to the center. You're going to make a pillow out of the hands here. Toes towards each other, heels apart, and just rocking the hips from side to side. And then from here, we're going to come up into hands and knees, but just to transition ourselves towards the wall. I apologize, I decided to take my hair down, but that was obviously a bit of a mistake because it's all over the place now. Not to worry. So we're going to come to legs up the wall, so coming against the wall with one side of the body and then rolling the legs down as the legs up as the torso comes down. And here it's simply just a way to relax and release the pelvis, which helps us to do that with the shoulder girdle as well. So we're going to reach the arms up first, and we're going to reach the hands up so the shoulders come off the floor and reach the hands down. Take the elbows to the floor, press the elbows down and lift the chest up. So legs stay where they are, relaxing. Reaching the arms up, lift the shoulders up, the head is really relaxed, the back is really relaxed. We're going to bring the elbows down, press the elbows into the floor and lift the chest up. So we're drawing the shoulder blades towards each other underneath the back. Let's do one more, reaching up, lifting the shoulders up. And shoulders come down, elbows come down, pressing the elbows down, lifting the chest. Nice. Reaching the arms out to the sides. Legs nice and relaxed. You can paddle your feet. You can keep your knees soft. You can rock them a little bit inwards and outwards, whatever works for you. Then wrap the left arm over the right arm and just let the weight of the arms fall against the chest. Breathe into this a few times. If you want to, you can hold on here. Hold on to the back of your body. Feel your breath filling the space between the shoulder blades. The space down the sides of the spine itself between the shoulder blades. If you can easily do Garudasana arms, eagle arms, and it would offer you a little bit more of a stretch, and you can do that, and you can also float the elbows up and down a little bit to find where your stretch is the best. Whenever you're ready, relaxing and releasing. Taking a moment in the middle, maybe just gently roll the hips up a little and down a little. With the feet placed flat on the wall, not the floor. Very good. And then we're going to wrap the right arm over the left arm. Again, you can hug the sides of the body if that feels good. Just check the position of the neck is nice and neutral. Relax the legs. Take a few deep breaths. If you want to, you can bring yourself into Garudasana arms. You can play with the position of the elbows to get the best lengthening sensations for you. And when you're ready, releasing the arms down. And here, taking the arms to wherever feels comfortable. So if you want to fold the arms and place the hands onto the belly, that might be great for you. I find this pulls the front of my shoulders forwards, and I don't like it so much. So releasing the arms away from the body is just fine. If you can easily do it, and it's really soft in your shoulders and relaxing, then reaching the arms over your head. Elbows are nice and soft, whole of the arm supported by the floor, and just gently releasing the head a little by swaying from side to side. The neck rather a little, swaying side to side. And then when you're back in the center, making sure the feet are nice and relaxed, maybe rolling on the heels again to make sure the legs are nice and relaxed. And staying here in this position for as long as you feel comfortable. If you haven't much time, it could be 5 long, deep breaths, really long, really deep. And if you've got more time, it could be 5 minutes. Whenever you need to move, if your arms are up, bringing them down, bringing your knees into your chest, hugging them towards you, making any movements that feel good. Maybe a little gentle swaying from side to side or circling of the knees. And then in your own time, rolling to one side, taking a moment. When you're ready, coming up into sitting. Bringing your hands together at the center of your chest. Taking a moment to thank yourself for this time, this practice, this opportunity to release. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this practice. I hope to see you again sometime. And I hope your shoulders feel much better now.